it actually like brought up so much of the parts of me that want to abandon myself in order to be chosen.
Yeah.
But really the test was to choose me, like for me to choose me and like not, are you kidding? Like I'm going to have a beautiful life.
Welcome back to another episode of Sessions for the Soul.
Yes. Welcome back. So excited to be here.
Yeah. How are you? What do you have going on this week?
Yeah, I'm really good. Let's see. This weekend, I'm actually headed to go like house/child sit for my aunt in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I love that time because she has a beautiful home and I get to like be a city girl for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And, my aunt and uncle are amazing. They're wonderful people who I've realized recently actually in a therapy session that like my uncle is like one of my biggest fans and like he's always like trying to help me like, figure out where I want to be and what I want to do and all of that stuff. And so we don't spend enough time together in adulthood.
Yeah.
And so it's cute to like, we have a couple of days, then they're headed out of town and then I'm going to like spend a couple of days when they get back. So
cute. I love that. I love their home so much. It's beautiful.
It's the best. And when they leave, I like go stay in their room and I'm like, excuse me, I'm somebody's wife on Queen Anne Avenue. Okay. Like it's so wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Every time I think of them, I think about when we did that like acting thing in the summer.
Yes.
What was that?
A little drama camp, a little theater camp. I think one year I just took you with me.
LOL at me going to.
But you did so good. I remember. Oh, honey, I remember it all. Because that's where like I would go get out of our tiny little town to like do what I wanted to do, which was to be an actor. Right. And so it was like always like good practice for me. And I loved it. I did it from the time I was 5 to.
Really? That same camp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cause they have like, obviously the age group we were in was like, they have age groups. And so when I was like 5, it was a little tiny bit different. It was like a little bit more, like I remember the early on ones doing more like exploring animals and like being animals and embodying different things. It was way more
the way elusive. That would make me so uncomfortable.
I was like, we would go to the zoo.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And we would like go look at different animals each day. And then we'd like come back and like do theater exercises of like, okay, and now be like the tiger you watched earlier. I loved it. And so I started doing that when I was 5 and I did it until high school. And then high school, like I worked during the summer. Had to get a job. But so that's what that was. And I remember that time that was so fun.
It was fun. Yeah, I do remember it. I remember feeling so like nervous and scared and like
out of your comfort zone.
So out of my comfort zone. But it is a good memory I have.
Good. I love that. That was like, I'm trying to remember how old we were. I think we were like 11.
I think that sounds about right. Somewhere in that, like give or take a year or two. But yeah, I think around 11. Yeah,
that's so funny. But yes, that was, and I loved my summer weeks in Seattle. I just, because I always got to do fun things. They're like such good, my aunt and uncle are like such like fun people.
Yeah.
So every time there's never been a moment where I'm not like having a good time with them.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love that. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
2 weeks in Seattle.
Yes. What about you? Anything you're looking forward to or what's going on?
This upcoming week, like next week is Adam's birthday and I'm really excited about that.
Yes.
I'm doing like a little surprise trip for him.
By the time this comes out, it'll have happened.
Yes, so. I'm so excited about it. It's just like a little camping trip, but it's like a location that there's like a picture that he has with all of his cousins when they were much younger, and all the whole family is there. And he's always talked about like wanting to recreate that picture. He has a lot of good like fun camping memories with his family. And so we're going to do that for his 30th birthday, and most of his cousins are able to make it, which is great.
So cute. I love it.
Yeah. I think I'm going to tell him though the night before, because I feel like he's going to know we're camping. Like I need to tell him the details. You know what I mean? I can't pack all the camping stuff by myself. So like
that's amazing.
I need him to know the plan. So Yeah, I'm actually really excited about it.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah,
That
he has
is
no idea, at least to my knowledge, what we're doing. So
that is so sweet. I love that. Where, like, physically, what region is it in?
it's like, it's near Morton.
Oh, like,
So, like,
okay, like I know Morton White Pass area. Yeah, up there.
So it's like in that area on one of the lakes. I have no idea how to pronounce the park. I asked one of his aunts. I was like, "Where was this picture taken?" So,
but it's so beautiful up there, up in that region.
So beautiful.
It's like near Mount St. Helens. Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah,
love. That'll be so fun.
I really hope the weather's nice because it's supposed to rain here all week next week, and so hopefully,
thank God I'll be gone.
Yeah, hopefully they have better weather inland. So,
well, I'm sure they will too. Like up there, I saw that Mount Hood is expected to get some snow, so maybe it'll go south.
Yeah,
we'll just go south.
Yeah, that whole weather system.
Please.
So,
well, we'll be sending good vibes up into Mother Nature. Will pull through.
She will. Yeah.
Well, that's so fun. I love that.
That's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, I can't believe Adam's going to be 30.
I know. It's a big
one.
And he's not really like much of a birthday party guy, like recognition. I said, Adam, we need to work on that when we have kids because they need to know that it's okay to celebrate yourself.
Well, and also like kids want to celebrate their parent.
Yes.
They love that. It's Dad's birthday. Like, yeah.
It's fun. So maybe this will be his last year of not celebrating in a big way. But like we actually are celebrating. It's just a surprise.
Yeah. He just doesn't know it yet.
And he will love it.
You will love this. You know what, though? I do recommend telling him so he can mentally prepare if he's anything like me.
Yeah. I'm going to the night before. I have to. I told him like take a couple hours off on Friday.
Yeah.
So that you can like come home and then I can like tell you what the gift is or plan.
Yeah. I had a surprise birthday party thrown for me last year. You were there.
The way I wanted to tell you so badly.
And I wish you would have.
Yeah.
And I wish you would have. It's okay. I understand you couldn't. No.
Yeah.
And I was already like not in a good place mentally. I was just honestly like down bad. And
yeah. Like, and then walking in and like everyone being there.
I literally was like, you know what's a surprise? Is my lack of a will to live in this moment. I'm just kidding. But oh my God.
I would never throw you a surprise birthday party.
No. Thank you.
No.
Thank you so much. That's not who I am. I need to mentally prepare. There's Alicia and then there's the version of Alicia everybody else gets.
Yeah.
And I have to conjure her. I have to conjure her up.
Yeah.
And I was not ready. She wasn't conjured.
Yeah.
No. My sister was like, because she took me out of the house all day and she was like,
oh, yes.
I remember her just like literally saying, she's like, I just knew like that was like, I feel like, you know, usually you're like, yeah, let's go here, let's go there. I don't care. We'll go wherever. And she was like, the way that I just felt for the first time in your life, you wanted to be home so bad. All you wanted to do was like go home and do nothing and like not be, and you're usually down for everything. She was like on the inside, I just knew like, this is the worst.
To tell you so bad.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't believe you didn't tell me.
Oh gosh.
You little bitch. I'm just kidding. I love her. But yeah. So
yeah, surprise parties are like a little dicey, you know.
They can be dicey. So maybe just give them a little warning. And also for the sake of packing, because if you forgetting something camping is like usually
that is I would forget something.
And that's like
so like I literally need him to know.
Yeah, because that's like one place you don't want to forget something.
No.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's a lot of other people coming, and usually it's like, you know.
Yeah, you can community it. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be so fun.
I'm excited about that.
Cute. I love that.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to like have a little birthday cake or like do s'mores or something cute?
Honestly, I was Pinteresting this morning because I'm a Pinterest girl.
Love that.
It's like such a quiet app. Love it. But I was looking at like little desserts that are easy. I was thinking about doing like a crisp, like a berry crisp that we can like cook over the fire.
So cute. Love.
Yeah, because he loves that. So got to figure out like what we're actually going to eat for like dinner.
Yeah. So, are you going like one night, 2 nights?
Just one night.
Okay. Cute. Perfect.
Yeah. Which works. That's what everyone else wanted to do. And I was like, honestly, same, because we sleep so bad anytime we go camping, and we have the smallest, it's like a backpacking
like like mattress.
air mattress. Yeah. And it's like high quality. It was fucking expensive, but it is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so small.
They're really uncomfortable. Yes.
So yeah,
I get that.
is more than enough.
Yeah. Camping sleep is like, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I love that.
Should we dive in?
Let's dive in.
All right. So we're doing another interview style episode. Last episode was all about me.
I loved it. I love it.
So this episode will be all about Alicia.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
And I'm super excited about it. Just a little interview style, get to know us, get to know you.
Yeah.
What brought you to this work and just other fun little things. So we'll just dive in.
We'll see where she leads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So welcome to your session for this whole interview.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here. Okay, question number 1. What's one thing you can't start your day without?
Yeah. Well, so it's honestly coffee. And I'm here to tell you, actually, recently I've been starting my day without it because I'm still coffee potless, which is killing me.
Heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking. My will to get out of bed is just removed.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning and it's not like there's not this thing propelling me to like go make my coffee because it's not there. So I just sit there and I think to myself, now what? Mm-hmm. And then it kind of like throws a little wrench in my morning because what's happening is then I feel like in order to go get coffee from somewhere, I have to like get ready.
Yeah.
So then it's just like this whole kind of weird situation, but that soon will be fixed and I will be back in my like flow of my favorite thing to do because I really do love to wake up before the rest of the world is awake. Mm-hmm. I kind of fell out of that routine for a moment, but I'm like getting back into it really slowly but surely. And so not having a coffee pot is really not helping.
No.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So but I love like the quiet period of the morning. And my favorite thing to do is like make my coffee, light my candles, like sit down with a journal, do like, it just depends what's like coming up, whether it's thought work or just like a brain dump. If my head's really noisy that morning, or listen to like a little meditation or something like that to where I'm just like arriving in myself and getting to kind of like take in the world before it's all moving so much because I feel like I'm a person that gets like unconsciously overstimulated really quickly from just movement and energy in general. Yeah. And it's not that it's like affecting me in a negative way. I think it's the subconscious ways that like, I'm just kind of like, then I'm busy, then everything in me feels busy. So getting to just be with that and move slowly, it's my favorite thing. So that's really like a little, that's my favorite way to start my day. And if I'm like not in my house or if I'm somewhere else, like still being able to do that, that's like my favorite thing. Yeah.
It's like so grounding. And also it just feels like it sets the stage for the day. Like it gives you such a nice foundation before like you're entering the noise of the world and like all the to-dos and the people that you're interacting with and all of that. But doing it without coffee is...
It's just not the same. I mean, I was like drinking water.
Yeah. When you told me that the other day, when I listened to that voice message, I literally was dying inside for you. I was like, you were like, I woke up and did a little bit of journaling. I was like drinking my water and I was like, excuse me?
It's not even hot water. It's just like room temperature water. And it's really not exciting.
Probably so good for you. Like we've talked about that. Probably better than waking up with coffee, but like, it just isn't the same.
It's not the same. And it's the ritual. Like it's the ritual of like the whole act, the smell, all of it of just like arriving to the warm cup. Like I love that ritual and it feels so good. And another thing is like, sometimes I wake up to like a plethora of text messages from work stuff. And so I've actually recently, muted all of my group chats from work.
I love that.
I don't even know when people text me. Sometimes I arrive to it later and I'm like, oh gosh, they needed me to do something 2 hours ago. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fully support that.
Yeah. And so that's been like helpful as well. Cause then otherwise what would happen is I would just like jump on the train probably, or like if it was like something urgent, I would either be like, annoyed or inconvenienced or, so I've recently kind of integrated that as well. Just like, I don't even want to look at my phone for the first like 30 minutes of being awake. But
Yeah.
yeah, the water's really not doing it for me. Even I bought a kettle. So this is like a way that I'm like, okay, maybe I can
Do like
at
a
least,
pour over or something.
yeah, something until this issue is fixed. You see, I have a coffee pot, but what's happened is it's broken. And so do I fix it? It feels really out of my hands.
Yeah.
And so, well, hopefully it resolves itself within the next week or two. But in the meantime, instant coffee. I've thought maybe that could work. Not that good, but it could work.
It could be like a temporary solution, like an interim plan.
Yes, like it's a stepping stone to bring the ritual back, because we are creatures of, like, I think ritual is such an essential part of being human.
It is, yeah.
And when we remove that, whoa.
Yeah.
So
throws you off. Well, we'll be keeping you in our thoughts and prayers. Okay.
Thank you. I need that. I love that.
Question number 2. What first pulled you toward this kind of soul work, even if at the time you didn't realize it was part of your path?
Yes, this is a great question. I mean, I think like kind of how you shared, right? Like it's a series of things. There wasn't like one definitive situation or moment, but one thing that I really landed on and grew to understand was my love of acting and performing, actually is like, speaks to a greater love I have. And that's for understanding the human experience. And when I was going to acting school, like what we don't realize, especially if you're not like immersed in that world, you're not like studying theater and like stage direction, all those things all the time. You're actually studying being a human being and the human experience. And so like so much of that period of my life was like diving into emotion, diving into different things, finding triggers that like live so close to the surface, exploring like what it is to be human. And so there was like a point in my early 20s where after I had finished school and I had done like, tried as a stretch. I was doing professional acting for like a year. And there was a good portion where I really hated every second of it. And I was like, just kind of over it. But also felt like this, like, but I love reading a script. I love doing the work, like the character work. I love going on an emotional journey. And I started going to therapy and all of that in that period that really did set me on this path and like understanding more about it. But there was like, I don't know, I must have been like 23 or 22 and maybe a little older actually. And I was talking with my sister about it and I was like, because I always say like, I feel like I wasted my get out of jail free card on acting school. Like I could have gone and studied like spiritual psychology or something like that, because I was really fortunate. My parents paid for college and, like my dad wasn't going to pay for me to go back at 24 or 25. And so I was like, girl, you went to acting school? Are you being so fucking for real right now? And yes, I was. And my sister said to me one day, she was like, yeah, but I think that like was the stepping stone to get you on this path. Like without that, would you even would you be here? And I realized in that moment, like, oh, she's so right. I wouldn't be here without that. And I think that was like a big part of that journey, because even like being in acting school, so much, like, honestly, there's a lot of vulnerable stuff that happens, like whether it's from teachers or experiences or whatever with peers, where they're kind of like, oh, you're really insecure about this. Oh, like this is like, and going on like the journey of like really craving meaning and understanding, like my existential like conundrums unfolded in acting school of like, but what is the meaning and like what does all of this mean, and a lot of grief, because like to put on a good show you got to be really in touch with some of that. And so there was a lot of periods of like just going into the depths and like really in the descent. And I think that really helped me like begin this path and this work. And honestly, like it still comes to form in so many different ways and it's still unfolding. So I don't know precisely like even what that is, but I think it was all meant and it all has led like to, it's kind of like one domino falls and the rest, like, you know,
fall into place. Yeah. Like that was like a big moment.
Yeah.
Even though that wasn't like the intention of at the time.
Right.
And probably I would imagine you didn't even expect to like have like to go down that journey. It's almost like the therapeutic discoveries that were made and also like some of the really harsh
traumas.
Yeah. But not going into it expecting any of those things and coming out and being like, oh my gosh, this actually set me on a totally different trajectory than I originally expected, which is really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember, gosh, I don't know if this is my first year of college or my second year there. There was a teacher that I had a lot, like consistently, and she was so cool. She's so wonderful. She definitely had like Earth Mother energy, and like there was a lot of that around. She was like, for lack of a better term, like a hippie, when that was the thing. And I didn't even know this yet. I didn't know this about myself. I wasn't even there in my journey, but like all the time she would just, and I don't know if I've mentioned this on here before or not, but like she all the time would just be like, I'd do a performance. I'd like, you know, be in the middle of doing a scene. And this was actually during like one person show. So I was writing a show about my life, about myself. And I did this whole show. I like finished. And this was the first time I was like, oh, that's my final draft. Like, this is what I'm going to perform for my final to graduate. And she was like, she just stopped at the end of it. And I was like waiting for notes of like, hey, maybe like do this, look up for that, walk over here, maybe try sitting down. I think you should change this line, like regular notes.
Yeah.
And all she did was look at me and stare for a second and say, when are you going to love yourself?
Ooh.
And I literally was like, I don't know. I actually don't know.
Yeah, that's a big question.
I know. And I was like 20 years old. I was like,
yeah.
I don't even know how. And so it's like little moments like that where you think you're going to learn technical theater and film, and really you're going to look at yourself right in the soul and be exposed in a way that like maybe you're not even ready for. But yeah, and that has stuck with me.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thanks for sharing that, because like I think it's just nice to get that perspective of like you know, when you hear acting school, you think one thing and it's a totally different experience and like different insights that come.
Yeah.
So love that.
Thank you.
Was there a turning point where you knew I can't keep living this way? I can't keep living the way I was. I have to choose a different way.
Yeah. You know, like, I don't know if it was like one specific turning point. It was a series of events. And I think that this is like probably pretty common, but so like part one was leaving Los Angeles and coming back home, of like being really lost, feeling really lost and really depressed. And just like not in good situations, in a bad like situationship, having no direction, really not really sure what's next. And then coming back here and like just doing what was kind of given to me and like made available. And so that was like, you know, managing for my parents, running a business for 3 years that like I was in no way really qualified to do. Sure. Just in the sense that like I've understood business my whole life because I grew up in business. And so when you grow up in a household that like a lot of the time you're sitting in on conversations, you're listening to people be fired, you're on the journey, you're listening to the stresses, like the things that like take to actually make a business successful, which like I think so many people don't know about outside looking in, or like if you've never witnessed it, it's a lot of late nights that are stressful. And so like being on that, having that exposure, like it's like I knew to a degree, but like to actually be the person like firing people, having hard conversations, doing the doing, like, oh my God, at 23, 24 years old, it's a lot. And I was so emotionally unstable. Yeah. If you had to bear witness to any of my like outbursts, I really would like to apologize formally. This is my formal apology. Because oh my God, sometimes I think back on that. I'm like, she looks crazy. And by she, obviously it was me, but, it was rough. And there were just I think during COVID is when it really like just all started to like come in, and like the light at the end of the tunnel was like getting further away of like, I'm not happy. I don't want to be doing this. And if I keep doing this, I'm going to not I can't, you know, it was like the version of myself I wasn't happy with.
Yeah.
I was resentful to a lot of people that I love, and that's not a good feeling. And also I was just like, this is not my soul's path. Like,
right. Yeah.
you know, I was really trying to like gain the approval of my parents, which like honestly was like a huge journey for all of us, because my dad in that time, like he's the person I had to go tell like, hey, I can't do this. Like I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to go study life coaching. Like I'm going to just do something different because like I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And you know, he heard me, but I don't know if he heard me. And at the time it was like also I was really trying to get out of the relationship I was in.
Yeah.
And so what started as like having a mentor teaching me about coaching, and then like kind of led to like, hey, I think you need to get out of this abusive situation, mentally abusive to clarify.
Mm-hmm.
And so like having that kind of unfolding, like they were supportive of that path. My parents were, but there was a day where my dad just kind of, I don't know, we have like deep chats in my house. Mm-hmm. We're very like, we can be really vulnerable together sometimes. And one night he was kind of like, I realized, that I need to listen to you guys. Like I need to listen to you, and I need to listen to your sisters, that like, you don't want to do this, and I'm trying to make you. And that means I'm not being a good father. Mm. And he like started crying. And I just remember being like, oh my God, like he actually sees me. Mm. And so it was, I think that was like a huge moment of just like, kind of, you know, the bucket got too full, and it just started to overflow, and then having no choice in a way. Cause like when you get to that place to like keep going is like detrimental to your health, to your, you know, mental, physical, emotional, all of it.
Yeah.
And so I would say that those are kind of like, and then there's been other little moments along the way, because to be honest, like I don't even feel like I've fully arrived to this work or this path. Yeah. Like so often I'm like, wait, what am I doing? What is it? And I think one thing, like a trap I can get caught in is like, feeling like, but I'm not arrived yet. Like I don't feel like myself, or I don't feel like I've like really like understood what my work really is. And so I just do things and try things. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the time they might not be the right things, but I'm doing something in hopes that one day it all just clicks.
Yeah. It's like the trial and error of like trying something, just like acting school, right? Of like trying something out, and it's like, okay, it's not what that's not the path that I'm going to take, but I gained something from it, and it's giving me like other opportunities in my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Love it. Let's see. What's one chapter of your healing journey that still feels tender when you talk about it?
Oh my God. This is a really vulnerable question.
It's very vulnerable.
Yeah. I mean, so it's interesting. When I was 25, like before I turned 25, and this is interesting because I've like really gone back and forth if I even want to talk about this at all, like on here. Or just in general, it's like something I try not to really think about much, just in the sense that like I've done a lot of work around it, and recently it's like come up again in a way that I didn't expect it to.
Yeah.
To where I'm like, ugh, it like guts me. But so I was, you know, and I was in a situation with someone who I have had a lot of love for like the last decade of my life. And 5 years ago, that situation unfolded in a way that, you know, I never like really anticipated it unfolding. And it was part of like that period of like the catalyst of like going to coaching school, trying to get away from this relationship.
Yeah.
Because it was just really a situationship, like a friendship, but like there was a lot of like really unhealthy dynamics in it, in the sense of like there was no clear like it was a person who was really not ready to commit to anybody or anything.
Yeah.
And being like, you know, I had deep emotional feelings toward him, and he was very guarded and kept me at a distance because like he likes to be able to control outcomes, and that would be unpredictable and vulnerable. Right. And so finally I had like gotten to the place where I was like, okay, it's over. Like he needs to move out. I need to move on. Like this needs to be done. And then of course, in that moment, the universe loves to play games with me. Thank you, God. It's just little tests, you know? So I literally one night, him and I were up in the mountains, like watching the stars, whatever, because we were friends. We did stuff together. And I literally said to the moon, and this is like, you can't make this shit up. I said to the moon, I don't understand why we can't be together, but I accept it. And in that moment, this man grabbed my hand and kissed me. And told me that like he loved me and blah, blah, blah. I'll spare you the details. And I was like, whoa, what? Stop. And it's like, you know, the energetic, like, oh, they can smell you leaving, you know? And so in short, that led to some other stuff. And like, long story short, a lot of really painful stuff happened from that moment to the moment where he did leave my life. And you know, that included the loss of a child that was the most painful decision I've ever made in my life. And the way that it like affected me and has affected me and like lives within me. And then like that came up again in full force. Let me just cry, you guys. What the?
Yeah. It's a tender topic.
It really is. And it's so tender because, I think in the moment when you're making a decision like that, regardless of like how it's made, because it wasn't a decision I felt aligned with. I didn't want to make that choice. But I kind of was at this point where it was like I trust myself and I know I made the right decision for me, but we don't talk enough about how hard it is for women. And so like, that's why sometimes when I see the judgment or like the lack of like compassion we have for women who make these choices, like, you have no idea what brought her to that choice and how hard it is. We act like, well, you made the choice. So like you made your bed, just like lie in it, or like it should be, well, then why'd you choose that? And it's like, well, what is their financial status? Like, what is their relationship status? What is the person that they're bringing a child into this life with a safe person? Do they have support? And I didn't have support from literally anybody except for my sister. And so it was just like this really isolating time. And honestly, I just like disassociated through the whole thing. I was like down bad for like quite literally 5 years. I feel like I actually just completed that grief and that cycle like this summer, which is crazy. Like in the last month is when it's really like landed. So hilarious, like still going through it. But yeah, so I think that was like, that is a huge part of like, I don't know, my work, just like, as I walk this path, as I grieve, as I try to like be a better human and like love deeper and also love myself more, because to love yourself after a choice like that is hard. I'm like just vulnerable.
It is vulnerable. It's raw. I mean, in a lot of ways, like still, even though it's, 5 years is 5 years, but like any big decision or big loss or like those kinds of things that like come back to the surface or just have felt raw maybe throughout this whole season. It's tough. It's really tough to talk about.
And like I think an element of it that's really come forward is the mother wound for me, like from my own mom and those things. So it all kind of like arrived back to me like in July. And I feel like I've actually metabolized it finally. I mean, I say that with hesitation because every time I think something's complete.
Well, and grief is an interesting one because like, is it ever fully metabolized? You know what I mean? You can, maybe it's not in a space that feels like quite as raw or quite as tender at some point, but I think grief will always be there on some level when there's a loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like acknowledging that and sitting with it and still being able to like move through life, carrying some of that grief, but being able to like still exist and not to be in the space of like dissociation or like carrying such the weight of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's just it. It's like, I think I was so disassociated from it for so long that like, I finally like kind of, it's like I snapped into my body a little bit and it was like, oh, and a lot of the stuff came forward to where it could be processed a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure it's far from like, I don't think it'll ever be gone. I think you really touched on like, that's so valid. But you know, what has really like landed in this time is that like just being checked out or like sitting in that pain or like kind of punishing like giving myself a life sentence from a choice that like I can't change. Right. And trying to rewrite it in every way. Like what I really realized is like, oh, what a disservice to me, like, and to where I am. Like, I want to live a beautiful, full life that has love in it. I want to love and forgive and be able to like process that stuff so that I can like continue instead of like carrying around this like heavy, like baggage and bringing it everywhere I go. And so I think that that's what this summer really was. It was like a little like, what's that called? Like in a, like, is it a procession? I don't know. I'm making words up, but you know, like when a song like brings back like the beginning part or whatever, it was just like a little revisit, a little, oh, and then actually what happened is, you know, I got to understand so much and I got to like really look at myself and what I need and what I want. And so I would say that that's probably the part that's like, that's the most, what was the question? Literally what?
The part of your healing journey that still feels tender.
Oh yeah. So yeah, exactly. So it's still really tender and I probably always will be. But yeah, and getting to like really fully let that go and let that person go. This summer was like a huge gift. At the time when it was happening, it didn't feel like a huge gift. It actually like brought up so much of the parts of me that want to abandon myself in order to be chosen. But really the test was to choose me, like for me to choose me and like not, are you kidding? Like I'm going to have a beautiful life. I already do have a beautiful life and I'm going to like have all these beautiful things in love. And I am not going to give someone who is simply not my person, like, and never was going to be the satisfaction of like, oh my God, my dad said to me the other night, we stayed up till like 1:30 in the morning talking about just life and everything in between, his life, my life, whatever. And he was like, I don't know how we got on the topic, but he was like, just think about how much space you rented. And he was like, and frankly, like that person lived rent free and took from you. It cost you so much. And like, what a gift that you get to let that go finally. And I was like, I just felt so relieved from that. So
I love that so much.
Yes.
It was a healing summer for you in a lot of ways and a hard one, but like the other side of it, I think you've found a lot of healing in. So. Beautiful.
Thank you.
How do you personally reconnect to yourself when you start to feel disconnected or overwhelmed?
Yes. Going outside, taking my shoes off, touching the earth, that's great. Laying down on the earth, like,
so good.
Feels so good. I was so inspired by, was it yesterday? I don't know. It might've been yesterday when you were like laying in the yard with Burke. Honestly, I was like, I need that. Because sometimes we forget, I think like, well, we can kind of be like, oh, a little disconnected from it. But I think that is like such a good thing. And then also just like walking away, like going and finding the quiet room. Like I have my family is very chaotic in the best way and I'm around them a lot. I'm around a lot of young children a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And what's amazing about young kids is their energy, it's constant.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes that means like, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Don't follow. Kids love to follow you to the bathroom. And to just like go have a moment with myself. I love placing my hands on my heart and just kind of taking a second, touching my body, like bringing myself back. I think that that's a great practice. And also just like setting aside the time to like check in, like to literally just be like, how are you? Like, what's going on? Especially when like we get into busy seasons of life, it can be so hard to like drop in and be like, hey, like, we're here. Yeah. How's it? What's up? Like, I haven't seen you for a sec. It feels like when we're in that like fast paced moment. And so just creating like intentional space to be journaling. I love to journal. So we're doing the fall program right now. Yeah. And my mom is participating in it. And she actually shared with me the other day that the first time she ever journaled was day one of the program in her life.
I love that.
I know. I was like, what?
She needs to drop it in the comments in there.
I know. Hillary. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously,
I love that.
That was the first time she ever journaled. And I just was like so amazed. I was like, Mom, like that's crazy. You've never journaled? And she was like, no, I've never done this. And so, I was like, I journal about everything. She was like, yeah, I know you have, because I left a lot of my journals at my parents' house. She's like, yeah, I have a whole bookshelf full of your life. And I'm like, yeah, well, don't read them. Oh my God, don't read those. But no, it was like a funny little moment, but journaling is so like cathartic, like get it out. I also love to cry. Sometimes just crying, even if it's like not about me, just letting it flow.
I love that. Nice little releases, but also like connection points, like the grounding stuff of just feeling connected to your body, to the earth. Like it's always the simple things that are like so impactful.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. I think sometimes we want to overcomplicate things, and sometimes it's literally as simple as like go step outside.
Go for a walk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going for a walk is like something I've grown to love so much. Yeah. Like whether it's by myself, with a friend, with my mom, like with my family, because the bilateral movement for one is just processing. Right. Yeah. And then also like when you're on a walk, you're just taking it all in. Yeah. You know, we live in a really beautiful place. So there's lots of places to walk that you see a lot of trees. You can walk on the beach, like things like that. Yeah. And that is just one way, like, especially when you don't know what to do or like nothing feels potent, just like literally go for a walk. Yeah. Yeah.
Easy solution. I love it. Where are we? Okay. What's one thing you're still learning about yourself in this season of life?
LOL. That's funny. No, I feel like so much. Just this journey, like kind of how we just were talking about, like the really like arriving to an understanding and like getting in my body about some of the experiences I was so like disassociated from. And like also the romanticizing the past of like, if I just would have, done X, Y, and Z, like it could be different when that's my brain playing dirty little tricks. I think like I've really landed on a lot the last few weeks. And I think I will continue to land on them because it's like never complete. Like I think I see myself as a student of life and like the human experience. Like I crave like understanding and meaning. And, that's been like a huge thing for me, is to like really like whenever anything happens to like understand it, dissect it, to be with it, to sit with it. I'm not like someone who I feel most myself and the most like kind of like excited when I'm like digging my hands in the dirt of life. And so that's like kind of where I see this always going to be and like always evolving. But I think, one of the biggest things I've really understood is that this is like really potent for me right now, is that, I've really wanted it to be easy. I've wanted my path to be easy.
Mm.
And I like so badly like have just been like, you know, whether it's like kind of being waiting for my like knight in shining armor to rescue me, or like the place or the job or the whatever to like save me from myself and like the hard decisions of life. And understanding that like that's actually like a trap, and maybe it's not supposed to be easy. Like maybe growth and like what we're meant to like really walk into and step into, and our journeys sometimes like include really tough choices and hard lessons and hard decisions. And like the way that I just see like little me, like arms crossed, like pouting in the corner, like I
wanting
don't
to protest it.
Yes, I'm not doing that. I don't want to. And it's like, actually like, no, we have to.
Yeah.
And I've really just landed on that. And that's like big medicine for me right now, is that like, it's done, like that story and that like, that desire is kind of dying for me right now, of like, I can want it to be easy. That's fine. But like, if I'm waiting for it to be easy, it's never going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Yeah. It's like the whole concept of like taking agency over your life. Cause it is, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
It's nice to be like, oh, I just want this like handed to me or done for me or ready to go. Like a turnkey life.
Yes.
It's like, that's not generally how that works.
This is not a movie, you know?
No, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly it. Like a turnkey life. I've been like waiting for my Barbie moment, you know, where it's just like everything's like, but even Barbie, if you saw the Barbie movie, you know, she grapples with consciousness as well. And that's just it, where it's like, yeah, it's never gonna, I don't think it's meant to be like,
no,
we're meant to learn, you know, and grow. And if we're just like waiting for it to be easy, I would hate to like wait my whole life by and then like be like 40, no disrespect to 40-year-olds, but be older and to still be waiting. Yeah. That would break my heart.
Yeah. You got to take action.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What do you hope your work teaches your future self, not just others?
That's
a good one.
That is a good one. You know, I think like there's so many things coming to mind right now, but if I could like pinpoint it to like two things, like the first would be like really like radical self-acceptance and self-love. This is something that I really struggle with. Like I'm highly critical of myself, and that's something I really struggle with. Like the codependency, the like all of these like contributing factors that like have just been kind of part of my journey. One thing is at the root of them, and that is that like I really struggle with self-worth. And so I think that that's like a huge part of this path as well for me, is like when I'm able to help someone feel worthy, and this is actually like, this is just codependency. And I'm like, this is where sometimes I like, I'm like, no. And that's honestly why sometimes I take huge steps back from it, from like working on codependency and how I'm working with people, is that place of like, it's really gratifying to help people learn how to love themselves, or to have people like feel worthy in a moment, or like tap into that.
Yeah.
And that gives me a sense of purpose. And it's something that like, you know, it's an inside job. And so I think that I hope that like the work I do with the earth, with all of it, helps me like come home to myself and helps others do the same. And so I think that that's like a big piece of it. And then like the other piece is like to like do the thing, like go do it. Like, you know, and I know obviously there's so many factors that contribute to like what people are able to do, and like whether that's finances or, you know, responsibilities or whatever. But like, you know, it's like that thing of like we just said, like if you're waiting for it to get easier, if you're waiting for like this thing to arrive, like You will be waiting your whole life. And so like to just keep making the choices and like do what's scary, do the hard thing, because the magic happens like on the other side of the hard choice. Like, you know, go travel by yourself, go, you know, try the new career because you really want to. Maybe it doesn't financially make sense. Oh my gosh. I wish we could all just like take a step back and see. I understand money is like one of the most essential tools, but when we take a step back, you can always make more money. You can always like find that thing, but like the reality is you can't always fulfill something that like your heart is aching for. And if we're waiting for like to have enough of something in order to be ready,
we're going to be waiting a long time.
Exactly. And that's just like I feel that so much. And so if there's anything really like for myself and for others, I'm struggling with this right now, like this, like where I'm at, of like the comfort, the like gains I get from like my comfort zone versus like outside my comfort zone, and some of the magic I know that exists out there for me and that's like ready to be like, you know, taken on, but like the fear, right? It's just to like, jump off the cliff and trust at the bottom there's a feather bed or God's hand or whatever is going to catch you. Because that's what we're here to do, is like really surrender and trust. And at least that's what I like believe to be true. And so I would say that like, just do the thing, whatever you're scared of. And I hope I hope I can continue to learn that and like grasp that and trust that, because I fear that if I don't, right, like it's like, get down on the ground about like what happens if you don't ever do that. What happens if you stay right where you are for the rest of your life? And I don't think any of us want to do that.
No, I love that question, because I do think it's like, I feel like that really puts things into perspective of like, if you take no action and if you just resign to where you're at today, like, how does that make you feel 5, 10, 15, 50 years from now, you know? And if you don't like that, then like you got to do something about it. You just do. Even though it's really hard sometimes.
It is. Like, it's like, I heard someone say the other day, like, wherever your problems are, and she was using this in terms of like speaking about money, but like wherever the problems are, like wherever the holes in the boat are, like that's where like the money is. And it's like, that's the same for like, I was thinking about it in like a spiritual and emotional sense of like, wherever the holes in the boat are, that like some of us are going to like be like, I need to fix these holes. We got to get this water from like out, and we got to patch those up so that, you know, this boat stays afloat. Versus like sometimes we can get in the space of like, yep, there's a hole in the boat and I didn't put that hole here, so I don't want to fix it. And recognizing that like, actually when we repair the hole and when we really like look at it, she's like, that's where like the money is, or like that's where the profit is to be made. Cause she was speaking about in terms of like business. And I sat with that and I was like, ooh, wherever you can patch the hole is like where the growth is, the medicine is, and the like understanding is. So like, I was like, ooh, let's patch some holes.
And that's the hard work.
That is the hard work. It's not easy. Like, that this path sometimes I think is like not for the faint of heart, but it's for everybody. So maybe we all, you know, like we can do hard things. We literally can. And the more that we like get out of our comfort zones and get out of like the comfort crisis that is the modern world, I think there's like a lot of and that's like I said, like that's for me too. Like, our comfort zones can be so safe,
so cozy,
so cozy.
But it's good to step out of it. Well, this has been so nice getting to like chat like this, and to like, I know that we have some of these conversations off camera, but like doing it for other people to see, you know, deeper layers of Alicia. I love that. And like what you bring to your work and to this world. So thank you. And thank you for your vulnerability too. And like, those are some vulnerable questions.
Genuinely, when you read that, I was like, wow, I thought I fucking deleted that.
No.
It made its way in.
Yeah, honestly, I think you intended to, but you know what?
God had another plan.
Yes.
God had another plan for me. Thank you. But yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I think it's like, beautiful. And it's the thing is I've shared that stuff before. And I think getting to share it from a more healed place actually feels like a lot more authentic.
Yeah.
Than previously.
And it just highlights like how things evolve over time too. So
yeah. And for any of our listeners who like maybe either didn't know that story, which I never really directly addressed nor said anything. So you can use your imagination.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, the more we can like bring people around like the table to like normalize, like everyone is carrying stuff that we like don't even know about or has experienced things or, maybe what's like tender on someone's heart, like no different than like the vulnerability you share about your fertility journey, right? Like, I always find it ironic. Like, it's not ironic. I don't know if that's the right word, but there's like a little bit of a coincidence that like you and I both have been carrying something around like the longing of motherhood for literally like the same amount of time and how like those things happen like in tandem almost and how it's so different, but like there's a shared experience and to meet that and to like be able to like witness each other. And I've always found, I've never said this out loud, but I always find it like kind of beautiful and also like recognize the like sensitivity and the vulnerability around it because it's like, to put one another in each other's shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this was a beautiful episode. Burke somehow knows when we're done with an episode.
Yeah, he's
is like, can I come be the third host?
He's like, actually, it's like a kid. I feel like he's like, are you guys done talking?
Yeah.
Are you guys done yet?
Let me get up there with you.
That's hilarious.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. And we will see you next week.
Yes. Thanks, guys.